15 things you didn't know about the Sultan of Brunei. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome to another exciting original video presented by alux.com. Today we're talking about Hassan al-Bolkiah, better known as the Sultan of Brunei. The Sultan was born on July 15, 1946, and his full name has over 20 parts, so you can Google that if you're really interested. He became the 29th Sultan of Brunei at the young age of 21 in 1967 when his father abdicated the throne. It's not surprising that most people have a hard time finding Brunei on a map. It's a small country about the size of the state of Delaware, with a population of 415,000, but despite its size, it's the fifth wealthiest nation in the world. The country's vast oil reserves are an incredible source of wealth, allowing the people of Brunei to enjoy free healthcare and education without paying taxes, and the Sultan is able to live a life of unimaginable luxury. The Sultan has many titles, including Prime Minister, Minister of Defense, Minister of Finance, Supreme Commander of the Royal Brunei Armed Forces, and Inspector General of Police of the Royal Brunei Police Force. His power and wealth have given him and his family the ability to live in extreme luxury with all of the best that money can buy. We'll find out a little bit more about that now as we look at the 15 things you didn't know about the Sultan of Brunei. Number 1. He frequently spends $21,000 or more just to get his hair trimmed. Everyone knows that when you find a good hairstylist, you should stick with them, and this is apparently true for sultans as well. When the sultan decides his hair needs a trim, which is reportedly about once a month, he spares no expense to ensure that his favorite hairstylist, Ken Modestu, is on hand. Ken flies first class from London, sometimes on a private suite, which costs around $15,000. Ken is also treated to the finest hotel rooms, top-of-the-line food, and whatever else he desires, all paid for by the Sultan. On top of that, Ken also receives a few $1,000s for the cut itself. This regularly totals over $21,000 per haircut. Number 2. His wealth increases by about $100 every second. His net worth fluctuates due to changes in oil prices, but it's currently around $20 billion, not including his billions in assets. It's estimated that his wealth increases by $100 a second from oil earning and investments, which equals to more than $3 billion a year. Number 3. His palace is the largest residential space in the world. According to the Guinness Book of World Records, his Istana Nurul Iman Palace, which in English means the Light of Faith Palace, is the largest residential palace in the world and the largest single-family residence ever built, with more than 2 million square feet of floor space. Construction of the palace was completed in 1984 at a cost of $1.4 billion. Number 4. He married an airline stewardess and a prominent TV news anchor. For 600 years, the royals of Brunei have married their first cousins to preserve the family line, and the Sultan was no exception. He first got married in 1967 to his first cousin, who is now known as Queen Saliha. He took on a second wife, Aisha Mariam, who was a former flight attendant for Royal Brunei Airlines, but they divorced in 2003. He married his other second wife, Azrinhas Mazhar Hakim, in 2005. She was a well-known Malaysian TV news anchor who was 33 years younger than he was. They divorced in 2010. The Sultan has had 5 sons and 7 daughters with his 3 wives. Number 5. He owns one of the world's most expensive private jets. The Sultan has an entire fleet of private jets at his disposal, but his Boeing 747-430 is the largest among them. It's valued around $233 million. It features solid gold wash basins, a gold throttle lever in the cockpit, 100% silk carpets, and a stable for horses. The Sultan is frequently known to pilot the jet himself. Number 6. He paid Michael Jackson $17 million to perform for him. For his 50th birthday, he had a stadium built and he paid Michael Jackson a total of $17 million to perform 3 concerts. The Sultan also once flew in Whitney Houston for a performance and gave her a blank check, telling her to fill it in for what she thought she was worth, which ended up being around $7 million. Other artists who have performed for the Sultan include Elton John, Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, Bon Jovi, and Tina Turner. Number 7. His favorite hobby is playing polo. He has enjoyed playing polo ever since he was a child, but he has taken this hobby to his own extreme level. He owns 200 polo ponies, and he brings people in from Argentina to play against him. The ponies are kept in a very large, lush, air-conditioned stable on his property. Number 8. His brother spent an average of $747,000 a day for 10 years. The Sultan is very close to his brother, Prince Geoffrey Bolkiah, who is a notorious playboy. Prince Geoffrey is known for his lavish spending and is thought to have spent more money than any other person in the world. According to court documents, he spent an average of $747,000 a day for 10 years. This doesn't even include $17 billion in gifts given to family and friends. There's definitely some questionable spending going on with the country's money, but it's a crime in Brunei to discuss how the royals spend their money. Nevertheless, he was accused of misappropriating state funds in the amount of $14.8 billion to pay for his personal investments, and as a result of the settlement agreement, Geoffrey had to sell off many of his assets, including more than 500 properties, 2,500 cars, 9 aircrafts, and 5 boats. Number 9. The Sultan was the world's richest man until replaced by Bill Gates. Throughout the 1980s and early 90s, the Sultan was the richest man in the world. He was dethroned by Bill Gates in 1995 and hasn't been able to regain his first-place spot ever since. However, he did gain the title of wealthiest monarch in the world when the King of Thailand died in 2016. Number 10. He owns over 5,000 cars with an estimated value of $5 billion. He has the largest collection of luxury cars in the world, including 3 McLaren F1s valued at $12.2 million each, a Bugatti Veyron, over 500 Mercedes-Benz models, over 200 BMWs, more than 500 Rolls-Royces, more than 350 Bentleys, 20 Lamborghinis, 300 Ferraris, 170 Jaguars, and every other luxury brand automobile in the world. The Sultan has an affinity for fast cars, so to get an idea of what other super fast cars he may own, check out our video of the top 10 fastest cars in the world by clicking on the right-hand corner. Number 11. He travels with an entourage of over 100 people. The Sultan has been known to regularly travel with an entourage of over 100 people. He likes to go on shopping sprees while traveling and clears out the inventories of stores such as Armani and Versace by buying 100 suits of the same color at a time. Number 12. His son is on track to becoming the world's first trillionaire. His eldest son, Prince Al-Muradi Billah, is heir to both the throne and his father's riches. He was born in 1974 and was proclaimed the Crown Prince of Brunei in 1998. He currently holds several roles in government in preparation for him becoming the 30th Sultan of Brunei. If the Sultan's wealth keeps growing at the current rate, it's expected the prince will become the world's first trillionaire. Number 13. At one time, he and his brother were responsible for half of Rolls-Royce's income. From 1994 to 1997, the Sultan and his brother were responsible for roughly half of Rolls-Royce's income. During this time, they were buying 70 to 75 cars a year, often paying 3 to 4 times the listing price for conventional models due to their customizations. Their collection includes a custom gold-plated Rolls-Royce Silver Spur limo valued at $14 million. Number 14. His palace has 257 bathrooms. The decadent palace has a total of 1,788 rooms and 17 floors. In addition to the 257 bathrooms, it also has a mosque, 5 swimming pools, a 110-car garage, and a banquet hall that can hold 5,000 guests. The palace has 564 chandeliers, 18 elevators, and 44 stairwells, and uses 51,000 light bulbs. Number 15. He spent $27 million on his 50th birthday party. It was mentioned that Michael Jackson sang for the Sultan's 50th birthday, but that was only one part of the 2-week birthday festivities. The Sultan spent approximately $27 million celebrating his birthday in 1996, which is more than $40 million at today's valuation. There was a 3,000-person guest list, and each guest received a party favor of a gold medal. They were served the finest champagne and beluga caviar. According to Forbes, the party cost him only 1/10 of 1% of his net worth that year. Now that you've learned some interesting facts about the Sultan of Brunei and his wealth, do you think that the Sultan should be using his wealth to do more charitable work, or that he has the right to spend it on luxury? Let us know in the comments. Still with us, huh? Here's an extra fact just for you. Once while playing polo with Prince Charles, the Sultan had his polo shoes delivered to the palace field by helicopter. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.